Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Subt Talk Radio. I am excited tonight. We have one old friend and one new friend. As always, allow me to introduce both Spencer and Nick of Kaged. I want to say muscle, but I keep getting that good of Kaged.
No more muscle.
Kaged. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Sean. It's great to be back. Always happy to chat with you about supplements anytime.
So shame on me. I'm going to come flat out here. When was muscle dropped and now it's just Kaged?
It was about a year ago. We kind of went through a rebrand, I guess. So a lot of people do know us as Kaged Muscle. Now it's just Kaged. Chris Gethin was once one of the co-founders of the company way back in like the heyday of bodybuilding.com. So a lot of people know the company from that. So it's still the same company, a lot of the same products. We've just kind of dropped the muscle from the name with this rebrand to kind of target, a little bit more of a mainstream audience, a little bit more of a mature audience. But we still keep, the same principles of fully loaded, efficacious products. Everything is the formulas they speak for themselves. If you look at, just the formula of our pre-workout, for example, totally speaks for itself. With the rebrand, we kind of wanted to get into a little bit more of, mainstream GNC, Vitamin Shop, Dick's Sporting Goods, and just kind of kept that mindset of, our tagline is never stop evolving. And that's kind of what we wanted to carry forward with our products and our rebrand.
And you guys, Nick, you guys are on week 3, right? Is this your third week with the company?
Yeah.
This is my third week. I think this is Spencer's fourth week. Yeah.
So is it like drinking from the fire hose, or how the first couple of weeks been?
That's the perfect way to put it. Drinking from a fire hose for sure. Just running around, putting out fires, getting comfortable to a new role, a new job description. Introducing myself to everybody and anybody at GNC. I think Nick can kind of echo that too.
Yeah. No, it's been. I did a podcast the other day, and my buddy who was the host, he was like, "So, how do you transition so gracefully?" I was like, "It wasn't fucking graceful at all. Actually, it was actually." The first week, listen, I came from a marketing background, so it was a bit of a transition because it's a new side of the business that I'm on. So far, I'm genuinely enjoying it. I have 2 tremendous bosses. I have a coworker in Spencer who's been nothing but helpful in my transition into this side of the business because you're learning a new craft, right? So there's going to be some questions that are kind of layups and like, why are you asking me this, Nick? Like, you should know that. But other than that, it's been great. And I couldn't be happier at Kaged. So I'm super excited.
So, Nick, many people know Spencer, previous podcast with me, which I'll drop in the description below. But Nick, what's your background? I know you've been in the industry for quite some time, but let's go back in the time machine. How did you get into maybe supplementation?
Yeah, so right after college, I graduated in 2014. I played some Division II college baseball. Wasn't really good. Actually, no, that's a lie. My senior year, I led the team in ERA, so I had a 2.28. Remember that.
All right.
Yeah, solid season. Anyway, I wanted to get into the sports nutrition space, but I couldn't find my way in. I wanted to be a firefighter or a cop, something of that sort. And then my dad pulled out his newspaper and said, "Hey, there's a job fair. Why don't you go? There's a company called NBTY, now owned by Nestle, Nature's Bounty Company." So they had openings for label development and regulatory. I said, I don't want to stare at labels all day. Fuck that. And my dad was like, just go. I parked outside. I'm like, maybe I should. Yeah, I'll throw away some resumes and tell dad that I went, whatever.
Make that happy.
Then my conscience kicked in and was like, just go in, whatever. Long story short, I got an interview and I was in label development for about a year. And then I got promoted to international registration. So anything that like goes overseas, South Korea, Australia, any country has different registrations in terms of product that you're importing or exporting regardless.
Sure.
So I did that for about 2 years. I left NBTY, went to a pharmaceutical company, and I was helping out regulatory there. But they wanted to start a sports nutrition brand. It was called MFit. I believe they're still around. I'm not sure. But I was the only person in the building that really knew sports nutrition products, right? So I was giving a very unique opportunity to say, hey, what kind of products did you come up with? I formulated 35 SKUs within 24 hours. Wow. And we launched at FIBO Shanghai in China. Then we launched that was our international brand. Then I launched our US brand at the Arnold Expo in front of 250,000 people. Then we went to the Dubai Muscle Show. We did the Olympia, and we saw some real successes there. I met my one of my best friends, Guy Cisternino there. It was a lifelong friendship. So I met Guy there, and I owe him a phone call. And then I was at MFit for 2 years. That was a cool experience. Pandemic hit, and I got a call from, ironically, this is a cool, like, kind of left turn. I got a call from Jay Cutler because Guy,
wow.
Guy connected us because Jay needed some marketing help. Jay asked me, he's like, and he has this voice like, hey, like, he's like, so he's like, what do you even do? And, we spoke for a little bit, and nothing happened. And I kind of got a little discouraged there because it's Jay Cutler. And then the next day, Tom Riley from VMI called me in, said, hey, let's chat and see what you can do. And I was the marketing manager there for about a year. And then I got promoted to director of marketing. And I'm very proud to say that those past 3 years were the best performing years in company history. And we rebranded, new logo, new look, new labels, new clothing, newest everything, like really, really invested in it. And it really paid off. And then I got into contact with Darren a few months ago, and we were just talking about opportunities. And I got a phone call one day. He's like, hey, what do you think? And me and Darren always hit it off. I met Darren from bodybuilding.com when I was at MFit. He onboarded MFit to BBCom. And we always stayed in touch through a mutual friend, Ben Kane from Prize Plow.
Yep.
Both tremendous humans. Darren is just, I literally look at him as a brother. Like he's family to me. And we just always got along so well. And once he said that was an opportunity, I had to listen. And it was a bit of a jump for me. But, I have amazing leadership and, people to look to like Spencer and Darren and Aaron. And it's been seamless. But that's really how I got my start. Long with an answer.
So Nick, weird question. Is there been a learning curve at all? Because I know sales and marketing, they're hand in hand, but they're also diverse at the same time. And from what I'm hearing, you're more of a marketing guy, that you did some sales. Maybe this is a new challenge, new I don't say obstacle, it's the wrong word, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I will say it's definitely a challenge. I'll tell you that, like 1000%. Thankfully I have extremely patient leadership. I'm a little hard on myself. It's 3 weeks in, so like, I'm like, if I don't get, it's tough to not be hard on yourself, but it's definitely been a challenge the first 3 weeks. It's not discouraging. I know there's a learning curve, but the way I look at it is it's relationship building, right? So we have to talk to as many, district managers, regional managers, directors, who, doesn't really matter. The way to increase consumption at a very high rate and clip is to, one, educate, and two, create that personal connection and relationship. Whether that means that I send somebody a hat or a shake or a bottle, or if I answer any questions that they have about the line, I'm helping them educate themselves on the line. And hell, I may be creating a good relationship there. For instance, I spoke to a New Jersey district manager the other day, and I said, hey, I went to school in Jersey. He goes, where? I said, Caldwell. He goes, oh, I personally work at the West Caldwell GNC. Like that's one of our top performing GNCs. I'm like, I bought Jack 3D there. Like, I fucking love you, dude. Like, so like it's creating those relationships, and Spencer can attest to this. He's amazing with this, but it's been a different transition because it's a different role. But I stepped into this fully knowing that I'm gonna, have to make an adjustment. But at the same time, I have a cool enough job to where, like, if they need help with SMS or email or design or even order clothing, like they lean on me in that regard, not in a larger scale sense, but like, I have that freedom if need be.
So Spencer, obviously 2 great guys joining a great company. What was the impetus of bringing you guys on? Is there new launches, new challenges?
I think part of it is, Nick and I do come from different backgrounds within the supplement industry, right? You hit the nail on the head when you said he's more marketing background and more of a sales background, but we complement each other perfectly in that regard. Yep. Like I've helped him out with things and on the sales side. He's already helped me out a ton with things on the marketing side. I mean, I look at his Instagram. He's got like 25,000 followers on Instagram, and they're legit followers who interact and like his stuff. Like he didn't buy his, like they're legit. And I'm like, wow, that's impressive. That's cool. Especially in our space, our sports nutrition space, like that is valuable too. Like that is that's 25. That's an audience, a captive audience of 25,000 people. Anytime he puts out a story with a Kaged product in it, that's valuable and that's cool. And to be able to build that is a skill. So we definitely come from different backgrounds, but completely complementary backgrounds. And I think that was part of the strategy of bringing Nick and I in. Spencer's the sales guy, Nick's the marketing guy. Put them together and light the country on fire. But yeah, I think also the timing of us getting brought in had a lot to do with the recent launch in GNC with the Kaged Elite Series. This exclusive to GNC. That was a huge deal for the company. It was a 27 SKU launch, chain wide in GNC. Like I said, exclusive to GNC. We basically, with the Elite Series, we basically took our already efficacious, fully dosed and fully loaded products and made them even better. I mean, more patented ingredients, backed by studies. Like I have our Mindset Elite right here, our caffeine. So this is our Mindset Elite. This is the caffeinated version. 8 patented ingredients in here. There's eight. What other company? Yeah, I know. What other company has 8 patented ingredients in the nootropic product? There can't be many out there. So yeah, really just to take advantage of the hype and the launch in GNC. That's kind of really what was the impetus for bringing us on.
So you guys, I don't hear a lot of talk on GNC, but I was actually in Vitamin Shop today and you guys were in there as well. Are they kind of obviously not as high? I don't know if I can ask that or not.
No, that's a great question. So
yeah, I'll let Spencer answer this.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in Vitamin Shop too. That has more of our, I guess you could say, our basic line, which is still pre-Kaged Elite, pre-Kaged, still great formulas, great products, just not quite as premium as the Elite Series that's in GNC. But we do have, they're competitors, but they're also complementary stores too. It's a different demographic that shops in GNC versus Vitamin Shop. And when we launched this Elite Series with GNC, we also had something in mind for Vitamin Shop that'll be coming here in 2024 as well. We're going to do some exclusive things with them. Different from the Elite Series. They're going to get some of their own exclusive items. I can't talk about too much without probably getting in trouble, but some cool new things will be coming exclusively to Vitamin Shop from us too.
Nice. So Spencer, for yourself, because obviously you've always known about the sports industry, you keep yourself up to speed, but with your previous company, obviously you were vegan, you were
plant-based protein,
plant-based protein, and obviously supermarkets and whatnot. Now, have you been able to kind of change your mindset now? Because different customers, different shops, different product line.
It
is. I
is.
think it's probably been a little bit easier, different SKUs, but it's still pre-workouts and BCAAs and everything else.
Right. So cost was much more general health and wellness, like you said. I mean, we were in Vitamin Shop, but much more established in traditional grocery stores like your Wegmans, your Tops, your Big Y, your Weis, places like that. And Kaged is obviously much more specialty sports nutrition, GNC, Vitamin Shop. So there's a lot of similarities, but there's a heck of a lot of differences too. And really one of the biggest reasons I wanted to come to Kaged from cost, it was tough to leave cost. I was treated very well there. Cost is on their own rocket ship towards a different demographic than Kaged is. But so it was tough to leave. But really the thing that appealed to me most about Kaged is like, if I have $100 to spend on supplements and I'm going to buy Kaged, me personally, Kaged speaks to me more, right? I'm young, I'm fit, I have tattoos. Like the brand just speaks to me more, whereas cost kind of like, that's my wife's brand or my mom's brand. Great brand, just kind of speaking to different demographics. And I fit the Kaged demo. So when I had the chance to come work for Kaged, like just from a personal standpoint and what I think is cool and trendy and what I would spend my own money on, it was kind of a no-brainer for me.
How long have you been able to keep that like buried? Because I'm sure you've been wanting to shout that maybe for years. Because again, I know Cost is a great brand, but like you said, you're not the face or a face that you would think with the brand.
Right. And I didn't seek this out. This opportunity came to me. So I would have been content working for Cost indefinitely. We're having a lot of success there. The company was growing a lot. It's still, general health and wellness is still extremely appealing to me. But yeah, when this opportunity was presented to me, I could not turn it down. But again, I didn't seek it out. So I didn't ever really feel the need to I got to jump off the ship and find a cool sports nutrition brand. It was never like that. But when it kind of fell into my lap, I obviously could not turn it down.
So Nick, I've always known Kaged as more of a bodybuilding brand, maybe more of an athletic brand. But now, fast forward, it seems like you guys are getting more maybe well-rounded. I don't know if that's the right word or wrong word, because obviously we see the hydration. We see a lot of different products coming out. Obviously, you guys have a plant-based or a vegan protein. I don't know how you guys are calling it. But are you guys trying to cater more to the masses, where I think Kaged was more not focused, but maybe I will say focused, like in the past?
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair assumption. I mean, the brand was called Kaged Muscle. It was a bodybuilding brand. I think we all followed one or two, hardcore trainers by Chris Gethin at one point in our lives. Yep. Chris is a personal friend of mine. He was on my own personal podcast. He's a great guy. But we dropped the Kaged because, like Spencer said, our taglines never stop evolving, and we take that quite literally. We're, I believe, the first brand to really take sports performance and health and wellness and try and meet as in the middle as we possibly can. And whether that be our pre-workout, our greens, our plantain, our clean meal, our elite pre, our clean burn, or our hydrocharge will be changed over to hydration. We really try and take a very full circle, all-encompassing approach to just health and wellness in general, or as I like to call it, health performance. So we have our nutrients, we have our micronutrients and our organic greens. We take an approach, in my opinion, that's unprecedented. We're third-party tested, Informed Sport certified. Every batch is tested, no matter what. You could be an NCAA athlete. You could be my grandmother. You won't pop a drug test. It really is that simple. And we will spend the extra money to reassure our customers who are spending their hard-earned money on our products, that put food on our plate, that what you're taking. You're ingesting these products at the end of the day. They're going in your body. Yep. Why wouldn't you want to know that your products are tested? Why wouldn't you go the extra mile and really, take that next step? I like to say, I think there's there's no best. Everyone talks about it, but I say this all the time. I really genuinely think that we are the closest thing to it. There's no best, but there's the best and there's Kaged right there. It's just my opinion, because I don't see, and I may be biased, I don't see another brand making greens like we do, fully loaded with KSM 66 in it, tasting like that. I don't see it. I don't see anyone with 10 grams of pure citrulline fermented with max catalyst in it. I don't see it. I'm sorry. If there is, show me where it is. I don't see it. So I think we take a new approach to sports nutrition. Even our protein is certified. We do, straight nitrogen testing on our protein to make sure that, we're not crossing any boundaries there or spiking anything. So I in my career in the space, I have never seen a brand test as much and certify as much for their end consumers as much as we do.
Sean, are you familiar with Informed Sport certification?
I am.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So they test every batch upon manufacturing before it goes out to the retailer, and then you also enter a pool where Informed Sport certified, they'll show up to a retailer, they'll show up to GNC, pull our product off the shelf at GNC, purchase it, and then go test it again, even up to a year later. So you enter a pool. So it's consistent testing year round, and it's for any NCAA athletes out there, anybody who competes under any WADA certifications, any power lifters, drug-free bodybuilders. That Informed Sport certification is literally everything. And actually, Darren, the VP of Sales, and myself, we have a sales presentation at Dick's Sporting Goods on Wednesday, actually, here in Pittsburgh. And they love that Informed Sport certification is huge for Dick's Sporting Goods, and it's on every product that we have. I don't know of any other brand with our breadth of offering that has it on every single product.
And not for nothing, just to kind of piggyback off of that, I've taken other brands that are Informed Sport certified. They're out there. Trust me, they're out there. I don't see any other brand dosing their products like we dose them and source them like we source them that are also Informed Sport certified. I've seen brands that put 8,000 milligrams of citrulline malate or 3.2 beta of carnosine or whatever, but no one's testing those back. You know what I'm saying? I don't see brands that are that fully loaded, fully dosed, make all these claims and structure function claims that are actually third party certified. I just don't see it. We're the only one.
And what's cool about that Informed Sports certification for us is we are very, as our sales team, we are very authentic, right? We are all former college athletes. I played football in college. Nick played baseball in college. Darren Decker, our VP of Sales, threw shot put in college. Aaron Heidebrecht, our Chief Revenue Officer, he played baseball in college and in the minors for the Phillies. So we're a team of athletes. So having that Informed Sports certification is really authentic to who we are. We're proud of it.
So what was the turning point where we said they're not going to be a bodybuilding brand anymore that Let's Grow? I know we kind of talked a little bit, but who finally said let's now go to the masses? Or what was the reason behind it?
When Aaron came on. So Aaron, he originally, he's been all over the industry too. He was with Nutrabolt for a period of time. He was with GNC Corporate for a period of time. So he's had his hands in a lot of successful places in this industry. And when he came on, I think it was kind of his brainchild to let's take this a little bit more mainstream. Let's continue evolving. And I think the rebrand, like I said, was his brainchild really when he came on. He saw the potential for Kaged, what Kaged could be. Having been those other places, he's had the experience of how to get brands to that position, and he is currently applying it here very successfully.
Nice. So now, aside from the testing, like what differentiates you guys from like other companies? Obviously, your clinical dosages and even your dosages are sometimes higher than what is average on clinical. Because as we know with citrulline, people saying 3 grams, 4 grams, and you guys are doubling that. But like, what else this sells for people that don't know Kaged? Like, shout from the rooftops. Why you guys?
Yeah. So
go ahead, Nico.
No. To be very honest, I really look at it a holistic view. I think a lot of brands, I think as an industry, we're headed in the right direction where transparency and testing is common, right? We still have those bad apples. I think that's in every industry and every form of life, right? You're going to have bad apples. But no artificial colors, no artificial flavors. None of that garbage. We do use sucralose from time to time. It's harmless. The third-party testing, the dosages, the just pure arraignment of everything that we have, the full line. I just, again, with all the perks in terms of our organic greens, our fully loaded pre, like we're also almost limited to what we can say just because me and Spencer, I mean, I can speak for you here. The amount of stuff that's on the way.
Yeah.
Like
I've heard some of it on the podcast. Like some of it on Persephone's podcast.
I'll give you like some tidbits afterwards, but just the runway here is so long. Like we're planning. We're not a quarter ahead. We're years ahead. Like in terms of product development, partnerships. That could be product. That could be marketing. That could be influencer based.
Labs.
We could talk about products ad nauseum, but give it another 6 months and it's going to be throwing gasoline on the fire.
What I was going to say too is kind of what separates us from other brands is I was going to give a shout out to our Kaged innovators, our ambassador team. We have our Kaged innovators, 700 plus strong, a Slack channel that is extremely active. People asking questions, people sending in pictures, people hyping the product up. It seems like every day there's 2 or 3 new people introducing themselves in the Slack channel. That Slack channel carries over to Instagram. Very, very active group of Kaged innovators on Instagram at team.kaged. Just always, there are some serious fans of the brand out there. And it's cool to see it. It honestly hypes me up. I get tagged in people's stories all the time. People sending me DMs all the time. Kaged innovators sending me DMs all the time with pictures of our wall at GNC or of our set at Vitamin Shop, or even we're in a couple traditional grocery stores too, like we're in HEB. So people will see Pre-Kaged Sport at HEB, send me a picture. I was like, it is really cool. The amount of fandom that we have for Kaged and just the interaction from the Kaged innovators has been awesome.
Talk about that a little bit. You don't have to let me peek behind the curtain, but Spencer, I'm very vocal about that's one of my biggest issues with companies nowadays. They have all these ambassadors, but yet they don't know how to harness it.
Yeah.
You ask them a question, about the product they don't know, or it's like, here's your code, go make me some sales.
Yeah, that's a great question. It is tough to harness, I think, but we do a great job at the Slack channel is I think one of the things we do that is different from other brands. I'm sure there are other brands out there that do that too, but ours is just so engaged. Like I go in there 2 or 3 times a day and there's always new stuff to read or new questions to answer. So there are a lot of people in there asking questions about, product. It's an opportunity for myself and Nick and Darren to educate them on our product. They can reach out directly to the sales team, who obviously understands the products very well and ask questions. So we give them that access to the VP of sales is in there answering people's questions. Like I
That's
don't
awesome.
think there are probably many other companies our size that are doing that, making themselves that available. Yeah, it's a great point too. So Nick and I, we do have the Kaged Innovators, and we can kind of deploy them strategically throughout our region to do demos and events at GNCs and vitamin shops. But before I do that, I am 100% having a phone call or a video call with whatever Kaged Innovator I'm about to send in, and making sure that they're a good fit to run this demo. The way I look at it is if I'm linking you in with a GNC district manager to go do a demo event for me at at one of the top volume GNCs in their district, you're a representation of the brand, and I'm responsible for you. So I'm making sure I'm vetting that person before I send them in. Because there are people with any ambassador program that just want the code to try to pimp the code out to their friends to earn a couple bucks, or just to say they're involved with something bigger than themselves. And that's great. If anytime you're trying to better yourself in health and fitness, I'm supportive of it. But to kind of have that next tier up of being somebody that I trust to go run a demo for Kaged, you're a direct reflection of me. I'm a direct reflection of Kaged. I'm going to vet that person and make sure that they're going to do a good job before I send them in. So
also coming from that side of the business, right? I've ran now 3 brand ambassador programs for multi-million-dollar brands. What the tough part, right, is you're vetting these people depending on whether you use brand ambassador, brand champ, whether you use Grin, whatever it is. There's a vetting process that goes through. Just to be very blunt, you'd be surprised how many of these brands just take everybody. Like they just apply and they take them. And that's what the frustration is created by people that aren't educated in not in general in the subject of what they're talking about. And then they're just given a code, and that can rub a lot of people the wrong way. That can rub stores the wrong way. That can rub, franchises the wrong way, which obviously you don't want to do. But it's incumbent on the brand to provide education and to provide it willingly, often, and whenever, and make the people feel as if it's a community. And that is what we excel at. We excel at educating, we excel at community building, and we excel at the delivery of that education. I have sent hundreds of emails. I have spoken to hundreds and thousands of brand ambassadors who want to be athletes. I literally till this day get DMs of sponsor me. Like
of course,
you see what I'm saying? But like it has to do with the vetting process, how you do it, the type of people. And to be very honest with you, to me, it does not matter how many followers you have. It does not matter at all. And too many brands are fixated. Listen, there's a time and a place. If you have a Chris Bump set available, you better sign it.
Oh, yeah.
You get my point? But like at the same time, it's very hard to find people that will just do things to be part of the brand. You'd be surprised, though, if you just go the extra mile with that one person. And that's what it comes full circle back to, is creating relationships. And we're all humans at the end of the day. So if you just make one person feel special, they'll tell somebody else, and this person will tell somebody else. And it's incumbent on the brand to just consistently build that community, which before I even got here, that was already taken care of. That makes my job 10 times easier. I don't have to go through the whole thing. All right, here's the link. Apply here. Oh, sorry, Billy's discount code is Billy10, not Billy20. Like, I don't have to go back on the Shopify and fix that shit anymore. Like, it's not a complaint. It's just a reality. But it makes our job a lot easier having the innovators around. They do a tremendous job, and they have access to to Darren. They have access to Spencer, to myself. And it's giving the right education and the correct access to these people that really does drive the business and make it successful, because it ends up being a third of our business, quite literally. So,
and Nick, it's full circle for you, because you used to be a Kaged innovator yourself.
Yeah. So while I was in college, I was a Kaged Muscle brand ambassador.
The way you explain it, though, it sounds so mindless. But again, I don't know. It just baffles me a little bit that, like Spencer and I talk about it. What do you guys do? And I'm not asking to share this on the podcast, but I'm like, look, companies don't do, just education, emails, whatever. It's just, and like, it makes them look like it makes them look bad, because if you educate, more sales, people are happier. You think it's a simple formula, but obviously not.
Yeah, you also have to realize too, man. Like we used to run into this a lot at VMI. I think expectations of people doing shit for free is way too high nowadays. Like
Yeah.
just to be part of a brand, you have, but that's what I'm saying though. Like there's brands that are willing to go that extra mile. Like what I used to do with my team back at VMI is we used to have a day. I used to invite everyone to the fucking office. We'd order fucking hummus food. We get my food sponsor over here, and they lay out a fucking tray. We'd educate. We'd play videos. We'd go train at Bev's across the street, and you'd build a community. You have to really get grassroots with that, or else people that you're not paying, why the fuck would they put up anything on their social channels for free for you? Nowadays, everyone's trying to get a sponsorship. Everyone's trying to get like, Spencer 10 in their bio. It's just a feeling of belonging to something. But what Kaged does is that we offer that to you, and then we amplify it by 10 because we give you access to all the activities, all the gear, all the apparel, all the, like, when we have new products come out, we give BOGOs to our ambassadors. We give them
awesome.
limited access. We hook them up with discount codes. We hook them up with discount codes on their birthday. Like we get so fucking granular with this shit, but it takes time. Kaged has been around for a long time, and we kind of have a winning formula, especially with I believe it's Denise who runs that right now. She's fantastic. I send her every now and then, like, hey, it's my buddy. He wants some stuff, whatever. But like other than that, she does great. And we also just brought on Chase too, who's a director of influencer marketing too. He's fantastic. He came from I forgot what company was it again. Shit. Anyway, but he's a great dude. I talk to him almost every day. But he's a really good dude, and they have a winning formula there, and it's just it makes our job so much easier.
And there's a good bit of brand assets within our Brand Champ portal as well that the innovators can access. Anytime to just kind of give them ideas for content that they can produce, or like single slide sheets that sells sales sheets to help them educate them on the product. And then it is also, Sean, I told this to you, it is also ridiculously easy to earn rewards points in there too. Like just for engaging with other Kaged innovators on Instagram, you can get rewards points. Just literally just for commenting on other innovators' posts, you can get rewards points. Obviously for stories, for feed shares. If you share certain types of content, you get extra points for it. If you run a demo for us, you get a ton of points for it. So and those points translate right into gift cards for our website too. So it is seriously ridiculously easy to earn a lot of gift card money, literally just cash, as part of the Kaged innovators.
So you guys putting more fuel on the fire for innovators and demos this year, or has it always been kind of the same?
I think with bringing Nick and I on, we have that potential to use Kaged innovators to run demos for us. It's a force multiplier. It's basically a field team. The more applications we get, the higher the standard can be for the Kaged innovators, and then the better it is for everybody. I
also want to stress though, like I've used Brand Champ twice now with two separate brands. I've used Grin, I've used them all. What happens is, it's just behind the curtain. This isn't Kaged, this isn't VMI. So like behind the curtain stuff is what happens is when you have like a handful of people, the name of the game is volume. Mm-hmm. That's just the stone cold truth. Yep. And I don't know if no one wants to talk about it, but it's true. Out of 500 brand ambassadors that apply, you maybe got like 25 that actually do anything. Yep. Now I'm just from my experience in marketing.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
You only have like 25 people that do something. So what happens is that now you have to cast a very wide net, and then you essentially just say, all right, let's play the volume, let's fill these seats, and let's really get those going. What happens is that there's a lot of turnover. There's a lot of turnover. There's people that'll apply that'll just want the free type of pre-workout. When they get accepted, then they're out the door. Like you're gonna run into that no matter what, wherever you go, whatever brand that you're running this for. But what I believe Denise has done is really mastered that process, and we've really gotten to a good theme of, all right, we have all these people, we filter out, they're not bad eggs, they're just people who aren't committed at that point.
Yeah. And
at the same time, they're not getting paid for it. So do I really blame them? No, they're just not that loyal to the brand, and that's okay. It's not their job, it's our job, but it's also our job to keep them committed, to keep them interested, to keep them engaged,
and to find the right people too.
Exactly. But again, I think we have like almost 700 people in that group, so I think we're doing a good job.
That's crazy.
Or more specifically, Denise is doing a good job.
Yeah.
So kudos to her.
Maybe for the few weeks you guys have been with the company, you guys are like sponges. I mean, like dropping knowledge like crazy already.
It's that fire hose we talked about earlier. I mean, you retain a lot of it, and then a lot you have to pick up the second time around. But yeah, it's and what's cool to me is it's fun. Like I enjoy this. I love this. I love this industry. I love this company that I work for. It hits home with me. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been easy to sponge it all up, I guess.
So now, Spencer, I know you're Central now. It's only an hour differential, but is it still kind of a little bit of a mind shift?
Not other than just messing up whenever I send people invites to meetings. No, it's not been a big deal at all. I mean, I guess I get texts and calls a little bit later, but it's not a big deal. But yeah, I've already messed that up once where I sent somebody an invite to a meeting in Eastern time and then called them in Eastern time, but they're actually in Central. So I did do that once already. But other than that, no, it's been fun.
So what else is there to tell people that, again, someone that has never heard of the company before?
Oh,
Go ahead, Nick.
You can take that one.
So somebody that's never heard of Kaged. Now, all right. So anytime
it's a very competitive marketplace out there.
Right.
Extremely.
And I'll put you guys on the spot as salespeople.
So is this person already familiar with the supplement industry, or are they completely new to the supplement industry? You got to paint the picture here.
Cold. Walking into GNC, they don't know shit. Go.
All right, Nick, thanks. All right, Nick, that's my host.
Well, that's a much tougher sell already. So walking into GNC, don't know anything about the supplement industry. I don't know. I would probably steer them towards brand new supplement industry. I'm not going to give them pre-Kaged elite or pre-workout elite. They don't need that right away if they're brand new to this. I would probably steer them towards either protein isolate elite or organic greens elite, just as that's a good place to start for your general health and wellness. Hopefully at that point I would have a sample available of either, because I think once they tried to taste the flavor of protein isolate elite, specifically the cookies and cream, which out of this freaking world, once they tried that, got the mouth filled, the texture of it, they're going to buy the protein isolate elite. So somebody that's never had it before, I would pick one of our general health and wellness supplements and give it a taste test.
See, I'm a total meathead. I would have said protein and creatine. Fuck the
test elite, workout elite. Yeah.
You're 19, need test elite.
Yeah. Test levels to 10,000. You're good.
Yeah.
It was a good answer, Spencer, because I remember back my board days, and even nowadays on Facebook, I'm looking for a good pre-workout, and everyone starts shilling their stuff already.
Yeah.
And I'm like the only one to get started out of the group, because I'm like, well, tell me, do you take caffeine? What's your caffeine content? Start probing. Like I'm already at question 36, and people are looking at me like, okay, what would you recommend?
Yeah,
that's a little peeve of mine. It's like, well, what do you recommend? Well, hold on, let's ask a couple of questions here.
Let's figure this person out first. Somebody that's brand new to health and wellness and brand new to working out, I'm probably not going to give them a pre-workout off the bat. I'm going to steer them to something more, like I said, general health and wellness.
Yeah. What I find though is when people who are inexperienced, it's that instant gratification, right? They want something that's an immediate feel. Like for instance, like you take protein, you're not feeling shit.
Right.
Yeah. You want your greens, you're not feeling shit. You may feel the next morning digestive wise, right? I think we could all agree that's happened to us every once in a while.
Yeah.
But what I found, I mean, when I was with VMI, like everyone's like, oh, what's your best product? What should I take? I'm like, the pre-workout has 400 milligrams caffeine. You'll feel it. It's everyone wants that instant feel, and they want that what is it called? The sense. They want the feel of like a tingling on their face. They want to feel that rush. So again, like Spencer said, it really depends who it is. And every customer is different, man. So it's really hit or miss.
But then
I would say,
go ahead, Jay.
I would say somebody who is familiar with the sports nutrition, supplement industry that isn't familiar with Kaged for whatever reason, I would simply then at that point, I would grab our pre-workout elite or even our pre-Kaged elite or just standard pre-Kaged. Because we do have, we did several varieties of our pre-workout, but I would grab any one of those and just literally just turn it around and show them the ingredients, show them the supplement facts panel, and just look at this.
Yeah, that's the thing too, right? Is that I would say more than half of the people, I would say maybe 10 years ago, Spencer, agree with me or disagree with me here? I think people would just go in nowadays, back then, and just buy it because it was a nice label. I see such an encouraging shift in this industry where people are actually turning the bottle around now. Bingo. And really looking at the ingredients. Okay, like what's in this? Where is this sourced? I don't expect anyone to know what fucking KSM 66 is, but I expect them to turn the bottle around and like read through and look at the the gram serving.
At least recognize what ashwagandha is. And
exactly. You know, so people are starting to realize it's a really cool time to be in this space, is because people are vastly more educated now than ever before. It's a double-edged sword with social media, right? You have instant access to education at all times. So it really, and that's why I say there's no best, but I think the closest thing to it. I truly believe that, because I think we provide the best education possible on this planet. I genuinely believe that.
Nick, I totally agree, though, too. The consumers are much more educated now than they were 10 years ago. And Sean, that's a credit to platforms like, Subt Talk Radio, Price Plow, Fitness Informant, Stack, what Shane does at Stack. I think that's credit to you guys. You guys are getting voices like mine and Nick's out there. You're amplifying our voices. You all have audiences that tune in. Like, if somebody's going to listen to the Subt Talk Radio podcast, like, they are a nerd about the sports nutrition industry. They love this stuff, and they tune in and they'll listen and watch the whole episode, and they'll gain something out of it. I listen to every one of your podcasts, every Price Plow podcast, every Fitness Informant podcast, all of them. That's what I listen to when I work out. And I learned something from almost all of them, I would say.
So there, I have a question panel here on the side here, and I'll flip this either one to you. I know the answer, but does Kaged have a non-stim pump supplement? I cannot have stims.
So it's not technically like a pump supplement or a pump cap. We do have a non-stim version of both our pre-workout elite and pre-caged elite.
And
it's a pre-workout. So our pre-workout elite stimulant free is the same exact formula as the pre-workout elite, just minus the caffeine. Yeah.
The same thing. It's not like a watered down formula. It's the same fully loaded fucking rocket ship you're getting, just with no caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody here on the road, Jim Bro says thanks for the shout out for the innovators. I don't know if you know that handle or not. Jim.
Yeah, that's Jonathan. That's Jonathan. Yep. What's up, Jonathan? If he's still watching, of course, man. He's one of the innovators that is super engaged, probably the most engaged that I'm aware of. He actually did an event for us at Vitamin Shop this past weekend. So yeah, that's Jonathan. He's the man.
One of the things too, and Spencer, we talked about this offline here, is that you're one of the few brands that actually has creatine in your pre-workout, because that's something you don't see a lot of. Mm-hmm. Now, is there a reason behind? Not anymore.
No, I'm saying you don't see a lot of brands include creatine in there.
Yeah.
I'll let Spencer answer the question, but I think it's for a deliberate reason. I'm indifferent towards it. To be very honest, that's just me, but I'll let Spencer answer that one.
Yeah, I think some brands did recently start removing it from the formulas. Obviously, I don't know, about a year ago now, maybe a little bit more. I just have to remind myself what year it is sometimes. But the cost of the raw material, creatine, skyrocketed at one point. I think at that point, you saw a lot of brands pull it out of their pre-workouts to cut down on the COGS, which is understandable. And I think a lot of consumers would appreciate that too. But again, just with how loaded we really wanted to make our pre-workout elite, the one that went into GNC. It was kind of a no-brainer to put creatine in it, just because it's a one-stop shop for your pre-workout and all of your other efficacious ingredients as well. There's full dose of beta-alanine, full dose of 3.2 grams beta-alanine in there. So we literally just wanted to make it a one-stop shop, because it is a premium price, and we wanted to make sure you're getting not only your pre-workout, your acute benefits from it, but at that point, at that price point too, we wanted to saturate you up for the rest of the day on your beta-alanine, your creatine. Your more saturation ingredients as well.
Now, I know you spoke also. You got a lot of your products have patented ingredients. Mm-hmm. And I know there's some of the naysayers, and please dispel it. There's some of the naysayers that say, well, beta-alanine is the same. Why does it have to be? I'm not saying. Why does it have to be carnosine? Why does it have to be this patented version versus just the generic? Explain, maybe educate people don't understand the difference between truly a patented versus just maybe generic form or generic.
Right. So the thing I always go to, like the easiest way to explain that is it's literally Charmin versus store brand toilet paper. That's the equivalent, right? Sure, you can buy store brand toilet paper and it's going to do the job. You might stick your finger through it. It might not be as comfortable. It's not as high of a quality, but you buy that Charmin and it's a comfortable wipe, right? So that's the equivalency I always give for that. But no, patented ingredients, it is a stamp of quality that is proven that when you use that patented ingredient, you're getting exactly what it's supposed to be. And then obviously there are some patented trademarked ingredients too that come with their own set of built-in marketing through the claims and the data that has been scientifically validated. I worked at Compound Solutions. That was, what we were able to sell Creatine on was that we have the data, we have the studies that show this is effective, whereas your generic Theocrine can't make the same claims.
Yeah, and also potency, I think, too, when it comes down to it, because we've all had 3.2 beta alanine, and some you feel like you're itching like crazy, and there's barely anything whatsoever.
Yeah. But that's really just the main point is it is a stamp of approval that says you're getting exactly what you're paying for with the patented ingredient.
So someone's asking here a question for all three. What's your all-time favorite supplement? And this guy's aging himself. He said his is Ultimate Orange.
Oh, okay. All time. Well, man, so
All time.
that was a tough
You guys are
question.
younger, so maybe a mesomorph. I don't know if you guys were getting the DMAA days or.
That's such a tough question to answer. I mean, all time. I've always been a fan of a fully loaded pre-workout. So, like, again, it sounds so biased, but pre-workout elite is my all-time favorite supplement because it has everything you could ever need in it. Now, if I'm going like, what's my all-time favorite like nostalgia supplement? I'm gonna go like from my early days in this industry and just being a fan. I will say, I remember Controlled Labs White Flood was like the first pre-workout I took that I was like, wow, this is freaking awesome. I love pre-workout.
Wow. I have two actually. So one, I think it goes without saying in college. So when I was playing ball, I my catcher at the time was like, dude, come to the weight room, put some weight on. It was like right before I got Tommy John surgery, and he was like, yeah, just hit some arms or whatever. So I'm like, all right. So he's like, just drink this beforehand. It turned out to be Jack 3D, and it was I think I took Jack 3D for about 6 months straight, just fucking triple scooping it like an animal. It wasn't a good look. But there's also shout out to Mark Lobliner, great dude. He had this one protein flavor. I don't think he has it. I haven't been on TigerFitness.com in a while. Love you. That's not an insult, I swear.
Bring on Caged. Bring in Caged.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, hey, I'll shoot him an email.
I did already.
He's a good dude. But he had this protein flavor in his MTS way called triple chocolate cake. It was like a cocoa base, but like I can't tell you how many dark chocolate chips were in this. It wasn't protein.
Really?
It was just so out of this world. I'm a big chocolate guy, but that protein, to give Mark a plug. But I mean, obviously, Elite Series cookies and cream takes the cake. Sorry, Darren's gonna kill me because I didn't say Elite Series cookies and cream.
We know Sean, your favorite brand is. We're talking prior to Cage. We know before. We know what number one is, but
Sean, what's yours?
Oh God, so I'm gonna date myself big time. Okay. So when I was competing in the '90s, I lived off Rip Fuel with ephedrine.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah, ephedrine was
never
like
had it.
that was crack. It was a crack compared to
Tom Riley. He's the CEO of actually no, he's the president. But he used to rave about Rip Fuel.
Oh God, I think
he's like, dude, I was on that 24/7.
Yeah, we hopped on the supplement nostalgia train. Do you guys remember Ultra Peptide 2.0, the protein powder? It's called Ultra Peptide. Oh man, you guys don't remember that? Somebody out there remembers it, hopefully.
That wasn't the new one that Scott Connolly from Metrics came out with, was it?
No, I don't think so. It used to have a blue label, and it was like a casein, mostly casein, but it had some whey protein in the blend too. But I remember they were like the first one to like really like crush this new wave of flavoring. Like I remember before them, like every protein I ever had tasted bad, but they were the first ones that I remember that like actually people were raving about the flavor. It was called Ultra Peptide. Extreme Formulations was the brand, and it was called Ultra Peptide. I'm about to bring up Google real quick to make sure.
Speaking of protein, milk or water?
Water.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So Spencer, as you're typing there, and we wind down here, update everybody. I saw your post today in your dungeon going silly. So you're still on target here for the competition, or what?
Yeah. For anybody that isn't aware, which Sean's talking about right now, November 25th and 26th, I will be attempting to break the official Guinness World Record for heaviest weight deadlifted in 24 hours. So I will literally be deadlifting for about 24 hours straight. This is I've applied to Guinness. I've gotten their approval. I've met with people here locally that are helping me put this event on, trying to figure out a way to live stream it, or at least be live for a portion of it where people can hop on and say hello to me and everything, because I'm sure 12 18 hours in this I could use all of the distraction possible at that point. But so that is still happening November 25th here at a gym, actually my hometown gym in Pittsburgh, the gym that I grew up going to. So that's pretty cool. Full circle moment there.
You're going to need that Charmin, buddy.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so that is happening. Like I said, November 25th. Been training for it for like about the past 4 months or so now. I get the question, like, how the heck do you train for something like that? And that is a very fair question. So about 4 or 5 nights a week, I will load up the bar with anywhere from like 150 to 185 pounds deadlift bar. And then I'll just, rep at it for an hour plus. Last night I put 185 pounds on the bar and did 7 reps every minute for an hour and 5 minutes. Then kind of the opposite end of that is I'll put 155, 165 pounds on the bar and I'll do 18 reps every 3 minutes for an hour and 15 minutes. And then I'll do these training sessions back to back to back.
You did 18 reps in 3 minutes, you sick fuck?
Well, yeah. So it's 18 reps. And it takes me, when I do 18 reps, it takes me about 45 seconds. So then you have, 2 minutes and 15 seconds to rest. And then you're back up at it again. And I'll do these. I'll do these training sessions for about 3 or 4 nights in a row too, to kind of simulate 24 hours instead of doing it for like a 4-hour block where I don't have time to train.
Have you ever said fuck it, I'm going all day?
No, not yet. I'm saving that for the November 25th. So
you're setting your wife and Landon out of the house, or what? Like, what's the plan? Are you going to a gym, or what are you doing?
Oh no, I'll be at a gym. Yeah. So the event it's going to happen at it's called the Center for Fitness and Health in Bell Vernon, Pennsylvania, which is actually my hometown. Like I said, it's the hometown gym that I grew up going to when I was a kid. So like full circle moment. Shout out to Chad for opening up the gym for me for 24 hours and helping me plan everything. Chad's the general manager for the gym. He's a great guy. But yeah, he's kind of helping me plan it. He's obviously giving me access to the gym for 24 hours. Wouldn't be able to do it without him. But yeah, that's where it's happening.
So Spencer, I know we talked months ago that you've got a spreadsheet and you're like, I know you're very meticulous, but have you thought, okay, the 25th, are you going to rest like a week before? Or are you going to go like 48 hours, stop, and then
I'll continue to train up until even the day before. I'll probably get on like a spin bike for 30, 45 minutes the day before just to stay loose. And then 8 a.m. start on Saturday, November 25th, 8 a.m. finish on Sunday, November 26th. And then
it's 1 million pounds. It's 1 million pounds
lifted
in 24 hours.
It's like 1.2 million pounds is the current world record. And if I stick to the layout I have of 155 pounds every 18 reps for every 3 minutes for 24 hours, I'll break the world record by a significant amount. Yeah. And I'm still not 100% dialed in on that weight and rep scheme yet. I'm still kind of playing with it to figure out where the sweet spot is, but it's somewhere between 155 pounds to 185 pounds and somewhere between 6 reps to 18 reps every minute to every 3 minutes. Somewhere in that range is the sweet spot that I am still dialing in to figure out what is going to work best for me the day of the event. And then I will put that weight on the bar and I will lift for 24 hours straight.
Are you planning any kind of meals, glycerol packs, anything?
I'll have plenty of food around me. I have people that are going to be, part of the event every year. So again, Guinness World Records, this is an official Guinness World Record that I'm attempting. They have a strict series of guidelines that you have to follow in order for it to be a legitimate attempt. So I'll have 2 observers there around the clock. They have to rotate out every 4 hours, 2 official observers. And my wife will be around, my mom will be around, my dad will be around giving me food and make sure I'm staying hydrated. I will have Kaged supplements. I will definitely have our Hydro Charge on tap. And yeah, just whatever food I can get done. So again, for anybody out there who's listening who might not know my background, back in March of this year, I ran a 100-mile ultra marathon. So I'm not just some crazy guy saying, "Oh, I'm going to."
Yes, you are.
I am, but I do have a pretty good chance of doing it based on things I've done in the past. Right? I've done a 100-mile ultra marathon. I've done 100 miles plus of ruck marching in a couple of days. I've been in the Army for 5 years. Like I have like the credibility and the crazy mindset to actually pull this off.
Are you gonna do some Goggins shit and just have crackers and like Capri Sun?
No, and it's funny. Everybody compares me to Goggins. I'm not the biggest Goggins guy. Like I know who he is and everything.
I'll run through a brick wall for that guy.
I read his. I'm not the biggest Goggins guy, but everybody just kind of assumes that I am, and I get it. But I did do his Goggins challenge. So he has like his own fitness challenge where it's called the 4x4x48. You run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. So again, it's you run your 4 miles. The time starts. You run your 4 miles, and then you have your 3 hours to recover, and then you run your next 4. So it goes continuously for the whole weekend, really.
I don't know.
I get bored, man. I get bored.
Steppy, you were very humble on the previous podcast. You're like, look, when you did your ultra marathon of 100 miles, everyone was like, giving you compliments, and you said something very, very humbling. It was like, look, your achievement should not overdo somebody else that just ran 2 miles because they've already done.
Right.
But dude, this one, no one can compare to this one. If you break this record of 1,000,000 pounds,
That's
come
not
on,
true.
dude.
No, my quote is, I always tell everybody's running their own race, right? When I did the 100-miler, I had somebody else that cost the previous company I worked at said, wow, I felt good about myself running 6 miles this weekend until I found out Spencer did a 100-miler. I said, whoa. Your 6 miles is every bit as important as my 100 miles. We're all running our own race. And that's true no matter what you're doing in health and fitness. If you're being active and healthy and encouraging others to do the same, your 6 miles is as important as my 100 miles. Your 200-pound deadlift is as important as my world record attempt deadlifts. And when it comes to health and fitness, you can't be wrong as long as you were trying.
You just fired me the fuck up, Spencer.
Good, man. Good. I'm glad.
I'm ready to go. Better make some phone calls. I'm kidding, actually. It's
don't call anybody from DSC. You'll do more harm than good at this point.
Do you guys know Justin Thompson? He said he's going to break the Guinness record for the most scoops of pre-caged in the process.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if we can condone that. There might be, if it's the stim-free version, go for it. Now, yeah. Don't try to do that to the
probably
stimulant.
shit your brains up too. So
So guys, as you wind down, it's been absolutely a pleasure. I know Nick and you and I've shared like enough texts and emails and stuff this week, and I appreciate it. But I know we talked off air. Let's talk top 3 of the Olympia here in 2 weeks. I mean, Spencer, go on record here. Who give you 1, 2, and 3? We'll go to Nick and.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say. So first of all, I love Derek Lunsford. I watch his videos. His mindset's awesome. He's very motivational. He's a great talker, great speaker. Nick said, you said I fire you up. He fires me up just when you hear him talk about his goals and his future and everything he wants to accomplish in bodybuilding and the why behind it. He's a great guy. I'm definitely cheering for him to win. I hope he will win. So I'm gonna say Derek Lunsford, number 1. Samson Dowda, number 2. He's going to capitalize on that Arnold win. And then number 3, I mean, Hadi Chupon, you can't count out the defending champ. So he's going to be up there too. But that'll be, hopefully, that'll be the top 3 that I'm rooting for. But I think it'll be some combination of that will be the top 3.
Yeah, I'll probably have to go with Hadi 1 going back to back.
Wow.
And probably Derek at 2. To be very honest, I want to see Derek win only because I met Derek, I want to say 5 years ago. Like, me and Guy were walking into an elevator and we were going up and Derek came out and he was just the most kind-hearted, genuine person. He was just like, hey man, how you doing? He was exhausted. He didn't have to fucking say hi or give me 5 seconds. I mean, I know he was talking to Guy, but it's just people like that you root for. And then I'll go Samson 3. But I would say I think there's something to be said about winning an Olympia. And I think we all have, for instance, I was personal friends with Sean Roden, God rest his soul. Okay. Everyone was elated when Sean won because Phil won so many times in a row.
Yeah.
So I think we all have the headspace of oh, let's see the guy who hasn't won. I think there's something to be said about Hadi already won. I think we need to put a little more respect on his name and say it's a real world possibility he could win 3 in a row. Yeah. I think accomplishing that feat once alone, I think he has to be the favorite. That's just my opinion.
We'll see. I mean, I tend to agree with you, Spencer. I mean, I'm a huge Samson fan. I mean, let's face it, to be whatever he is, 6 foot or whatever, 300 pounds, ripped, shredded. People thought Rami was big at 300 pounds, but Samson's graceful and aesthetic.
And in fairness, I don't follow bodybuilding as much as I should.
Yeah.
I'm more of a hopeless Jet fan. So,
Keyword on hopeless?
Yeah. Miserable. Depressed.
Oh, boys, I'm going to go with you. I think it's a toss-up between Nick and Samson, and I think Hadi will take 3rd, but we'll see what happens. But
Nick's a great guy, too. I love Nick.
Yeah. So, but anyway, guys, where can people learn about you folk, promote your social media platforms, all that good stuff? God, I need some support.
Kaged is really easy. It's just at Kaged, at Kaged on Instagram. I think our Instagram's huge, 125,000 plus followers. So, and then if anybody's interested in becoming a Kaged innovator, you can find them they're at team.kaged on Instagram. And then the link to apply is just in the bio. So yeah, if anybody's interested in that, you can check that out too. I'm at slynn46 on Instagram. Search me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. I'm super easy to get a hold of, get in touch with. And then Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, no one talks to me. I'm kidding. You can find me on Instagram, nick.karalekas. I'm on LinkedIn as well. I promise if anyone does answer me, I will respond. Just give me, just trying to learn this whole new job thing. But no, yeah, I love when people reach out to me. I really do. I really like taking the time to just communicate, just to kind of round this episode out and to end on a very high note. You never know what you can say to someone or do to someone or help someone that can help make their day and change their life. So be a good person, say nice things, help people out when you can, and just enjoy it.
To Nick's point, I literally got my start in this industry. Sean, I think we talked about when I was on before. I literally got my start in the sports nutrition supplement industry by sending a DM to Compound Solutions on Instagram when Matt Nickerson was doing an Ask Me Anything. He did an Instagram takeover, a story takeover for Compound Solutions' Instagram. And I sent him a DM and said, how can I get in the supplement industry? He got me an internship with them, and that's where it started. So I literally got into this industry by sending a DM on Instagram. As crazy as that sounds. It's crazy.
It's crazy. As big as this industry is, how it's still so small and incestuous. Like everybody's 1 or 2 degrees away from each other.
So small.
Yeah. Last question, guys. I promise. Better year, the Steelers or the Jets?
Steelers. The Steelers are they're the worst good team in the NFL. Like they're 4-2 right now,
bro.
But they shouldn't be. Dude. They're the worst good team in the NFL.
Dude, come on.
Or the best worst. It depends on how we want to look at it.
I love you, but not that much. Number 8's coming back.
No. Next year. I hope he's coming. I love Rodgers. I hope
he's coming back. I'm sensitive over my Jets, but no. I'm predicting the Jets will get into the playoffs. And they will have an above 500 record. I just trust bold.
All right.
That's defense in the league, bro. Don't sleep on Salah. We're taking receipts, baby.
Well, I think we need to put TJ Watt on offense because he already wins every game for us anyway.
He's amazing.
Yeah. Put him at quarterback, honestly, like at this point. Let him call the plays, put him at running back, put him wherever.
The Watt family and the Bosa family should just donate their genetics to world records of the best genetics ever.
The Jones family too, right? John Jones, Arthur Jones, and Chandler Jones are all brothers. It's insane. Like imagine being their mom, like growing up trying to separate them when they're fighting. Like, geez.
It's funny. Just I guess one last random note. When I was with Metrics, we rebranded, right? And we wanted to be like a Gatorade-ish, like a younger version. So we were signing like collegiate athletes. Mm-hmm. And at that moment, Joey Bosa just got signed. And we were at a booth or whatever. And then we're talking to Joey and they're like, so how you're custom? Like, everyone's talking about how good he is. And he's like, guys, stop. I know I'm good, but like you guys have not met my brother. He's still in high school. It was Bosa.
Yeah.
This dude's running people over in the NFL. Dude, he's an animal, dude.
Yeah.
I'm a Dolphins fan. We'll talk in a couple more games here.
Whatever, dude. Like, come on.
No, I'm not bragging, dude. I'm a realist.
I'm kidding.
Dude, I'm a realist, okay? If we go 8-8, it's a good fucking year for me. So even though we're 5-2, there's still 10 more games to lose.
Honestly, no. So seriously, I really do think this. I think the Bills are very beatable. I think that Allen really misses Dable more than people make it out to be. By the way, McDaniels, I fucking love that guy. Fucking love him. Yeah. I love McDaniels. I think the defense is okay. I think your offensive speed is almost unfair at some point.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill's a cheat code. It's insane.
It's not even fair, but don't worry. You guys are both going to lose when number 8 comes back, so we're good.
We'll see if he comes back.
Rodgers.
Anyway, guys, it's been an absolute honor, Spencer. Good seeing you again, my friend Nick. Great meeting you as well. And stay on for just a minute. I appreciate you both. And everyone, thank you so much for checking in. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Have a great evening.